Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome again to Mathematics IGCSE Term 2, Week 1, Session 3. We've worked through exercise 5.1, 5.2. We've worked through exercise 5.3, 5.4, and now we're busy with exercise 5.5 and 5.6. Fractions and decimals. What to do if a fraction has a decimal in it. First, you need to know where the decimal point is. Always keep that in mind, because you're going to have to move that decimal point. And you're going to move it exactly the same way as manipulation of fractions. I'll show you how. So, what is 1 divided by 10? This is why we've changed to the decimal system, because it's much easier. 1 divided by 10 we can write as 1 over 10. That's 1/10. But what is that as a decimal? Well, you've got to divide 10 into 1. How do you divide 10 into 1? 1 is actually 1.0. Okay? So, to divide, you've got to move the point to the left. To the left. Okay? So your answer is 0.1. Okay? And we put the 0 there so that we don't lose sight of this point here, because this little point all on its own can get lost. So we write 0.1. That's how you divide by 10. You've got to be able to divide by 10 and to multiply by 10 without your calculator. Very easy. If you can move a dot, you can do it. Let us do 1 times 10. What is 1 times 10? Well, 1 is actually 1.0. When we multiply, we move the point to the right. We know that because when we multiply, the number's got to get bigger. So that's here now. This is equal to 10, or 10.0. Okay. So that's all you have to know. Move to the left when you divide, move to the right when you multiply. Okay, what is 365 divided by 10? 365 is actually 365.0 divided by 10. Which way do we have to move it? To the left, because it's got to get, this number 365 has to get smaller. So we have to move it, for every 0 we move it 1. So it's there. Answer to this is then 36.5. Okay. Don't need a calculator for this. You can sell your calculator, you can get good money for it, invest it, and then buy it when we do trigonometry again. 25 times 10. 25 is actually 25.0, and multiply by 10, move your point 1 to that side. So the answer is 250. And you can write 250.0 if it makes you feel better, but it's really not necessary. It's 250. Okay. So remember, every number has a decimal point. Where is the decimal point in 26? It's 26.0. That's where it is. We don't always write it, but you need to know where it is because you need to move it. So, now, how do we manipulate our fractions when we've got decimals in there? If we've got a fraction 0.4 over 0.5, and we want to change this to a fraction with whole numbers, all we have to do is do the same to the top as the same to the bottom. You don't have to even think about multiply or divide. You just move it so that you get a whole number. So we're going to move this way, then we have to move this one this way too. So we got 4 over 5. Okay? How do we multiply 0.3 multiplied by 5 over 12? What we're going to do, this is actually 0.3 over 1. Okay? And we've got to move this point this way. So in other words, we're multiplying by 10, then we've got to multiply this by 10 as well. So our answer is then 3 over 10. Multiply that by 10, and this point moves 1 that way. 3 over 10. This 5 over 12 now stays the same. Now we've changed this 0.3 over 1, we've changed it to 3 over 10. And now we can start cancelling. 3 goes into the 1, 3 goes into the 4, 5 goes into the 1, 5 goes into the 2. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 4 is 8. Okay? This decimal system has made life much easier for us. If you have a bigger question with decimals, 2.8 over 0.7 multiplied by 1.44 over 0.6. Best thing is to change everything to whole numbers first before you start, so that you don't get mixed up. So 2.8, and remember, do here what you do here, do here what you do here. Okay? 2.8, we're going to move 1 that way, this we will also move 1 that way. So this is going to be 28 over 7. And this we're going to move 2 this way, 1, 2. So this we have to move 1, 2. So there's going to be a 0 here. So we got 144 over 60. Now we can start cancelling to see whether we can simplify this before we multiply it out. Well, 7 and 4 rings a bell. 7 goes 1, 28 goes 4. 7 4 is 28. And 4 can go into 60. 4 goes into 60, goes into 6, 1, carry 2, 5. 15. And we can divide 3 into 15, goes 5. And we can divide 3 into here. 3 goes into the 4 is 12, 8, 48. So the answer to this is 48 over 5. Improper fraction. Okay. Alright. So now in the next exercise, which is 5.6, we are looking at further calculations. So this is the things that they call problems. Okay? You have to just realize a couple of things, and then I'm going to give you a few pointers to the exercise. What does of mean? We know by this time that of in mathematical language is multiplied. So 2/3 of 15 will be 2/3 of 15. And your 15 is at the top of the line. So it actually looks like that. 3 goes into the 1, 3 goes into the 5, 5 to the 10. So 2/3 of 15 is 10. Okay? So if you see a question, determine a fraction of something, it means you've got to multiply them. And make sure that you realize when you do the questions whether they're looking for an answer in the form of a whole number or they're looking for an answer in the form of a fraction. There's two very different things. You'll see when you do the exercises. So exercise 1, question 1 of exercise 5.6, you're going to end up having to work 3/4 of 120. Okay? So you can work that out yourself. Number 2, you want to work out 80 out of 420. Okay? And you write this as 80 out of 420. It's the same as your marks. You get 60 out of 100 or 15 out of 20. This is a fraction. This is going to give you not a fraction, it's going to give you a number. How many? This is how many. This is a fraction. You just have to simplify it. Okay? Here, this is a fraction. 4 goes into the 30, 3 3s and 9. Your answer is a number here. So here they'll be asking you how many. Here they'll be actually asking you a fraction. Number 3, I'm going to put up number 3 here. Number 3, question 3. Question 3 is 2/7 of something is equal to 28. Okay? Now, you haven't done manipulation of equations yet. But manipulation of equations is not difficult. Very easy. So I'm going to approach this in the light of manipulation of equations. You know that if you take a fraction and you multiply it by its inverse, it means you turn this upside down and you multiply. The answer is always 1. Because the 7's cancel, the 2's cancel. And what we want to do is, we want to get this question mark on its own here. And you can do anything to this equation, the left-hand side of the equal sign, the right-hand side of the equal sign. What you do to the left-hand side, you must do to the right-hand side. You can do anything you like. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this 2/7 by 7/2. And we're going to multiply this 28 by 7/2. We've not changed anything because this is still equal to that because we've done the same to both sides. Number 3. We put a bracket there. This cancels. So this is 1. And 1 times a question mark is just a question mark. So we can just write question mark is equal to 28 times 7/2. 28 times 7/2. Now this is easy. 2 goes into 28 14 times. So your answer is 14 times 7, which you can multiply out. No problem. That's your answer. Okay? So the easiest way to tackle question 3 is like an equation. Question 4 just ends up being 5/7 of 3/5. I'm just interpreting the questions for you because the biggest problem with these questions is interpreting them. Changing them from English into an equation or from English into an expression. So once you've done that, it's just pure mathematics to work it out. Now, question 5 is going to end up being 1/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/10. Okay? So you just have to make sure you understand the video, watch the video, how to add fractions. Okay? Just got to get these denominators, they've got to be all the same. So you've got to multiply these all by something, each one individually, to be the denominators to be the same. And whatever you do to the bottom, for each fraction, you do to the top. And then you can just add it. Number 6 is a little bit more advanced, but I'm going to give you some pointers. What you have to do with all those numbers that they give you, you have to change everything to an improper fraction. So if they give you 2.5, if you see 2.5, you're going to write this as 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2. Okay? Everything you change to improper fractions. And then, once you've done that, you change all your improper fractions to get the denominators the same. Okay? And I think that in this question, your denominator has to be 6. So you're going to, because you've got to multiply it to get so that they're all the same. And it's going to be 6. So you multiply this by 3 and this by 3. And that is going to give you 15 over 6. That's just an example. But once you have all those things over 6, then they're all, you can work with them because you're working with apples. You're just working with 6 and its parts. Okay? So, if you have any problems with any of these, send them in. I'll correct them and send them back to you. Yeah, so that was it. And go well.